Alright, we're doing a video today on the proper way to flash a chimney with a metal roof system. As you can see, these panels are all full length from drip edge to ridge cap, tucked up underneath. And then we have a cricket here that is a one-piece cricket. We formed this with valley tray already in, tuck it up underneath the flashing and everything else. And now we're going to roof around it. And we're going to show you the proper way to roof it and make sure everything is watertight and flashed correctly. There you go. Alright, first thing we do, you notice we cut a short panel. We got to get into the side of the chimney and still put the panel flush with the bottom. This is called a valley tray. It's incorporated with the cricket. This first panel goes up underneath. Still lines up at the roof edge. And you see there is still a small little gap away. Don't worry about that. We're going to flash all that and seal it all in. So what you do is go ahead and screw this down like you normally would. Start by, you got to make sure you still keep your 1 inch overlap, 1.5 inches. Screws go 3 inches back. Make sure it's all locked in tight. Now, you don't want to put screws in this area because you are going to be putting a flashing up in there, which we'll get to in just a second. And you want to continue with your same screw line. As you can see, they're on each side of the rib. Well, that one's got to be drilled out. Must have hit a metal simplex. Okay. I know that hole's there. I got to get a drill bit and drill it out. So the next thing we need is sidewall. This is a sidewall flashing. It's 4 inches up on the side. It's perforated to go over ribs and everything. You still want to close it off and make it look decent. So you come up about 3/4 of an inch, cut your little V off, and then you can fold this little tail under and then fold that down to where it looks nice and boxed when you're done and everything. Now this one, because you got a pitch of the roof, you want to do just enough little angle to where it flows with the pitch of the roof and cut that little tail off. Alright, so now if you come down here, alright, as you see, this is longer, way longer and everything. You're going to cut it off, but you need to know where the chimney ends, which is, this is the other flashing. It comes down, so you're just going to draw a little line. And then you want to have a tail to fold under, and then you're going to extend this up underneath this valley tray. So you want to come up about 6 inches underneath that, and that's where we'll actually cut it off. So we'll cut that off. That's the flow of our roof. So you come down this side and you'll stay with the angle of the roof. Cut that off. And then you'll cut this off completely. And then you're going to actually go and stop right at where your chimney wraps. That's so you can get your fold and everything. And you got to cut it at a little bit of an angle because of the pitch of the roof. And then you'll just snip a little in there to make it to fold easy. And once you get it folded like that, you pull it back out to where it's straight. And then you just slide this little guy up underneath. And you got to make sure you get it under your valley tray at the same time. nice and locked and everything else. And the valley tray does come over it, and it'll all get single beaded and everything else. Go ahead and set that. See, the valley tray comes up and over, and the flashing's pretty far up underneath to where you get good water flow and everything else, and you push it up tight. Now, we do have to have, this is called single bead or butyl tape. Anytime metal touches metal, you want to definitely guarantee water not to get under the metal, because we are going to put pin screws to pin this down. It is underneath this counter flashing, so everything comes together, but you need to put some single bead up underneath. So just get it to the length. You'll slide it up underneath. This stuff's pretty sticky, and just right up underneath this little lip, because that's the lip you're going to actually screw to. Once you get it in place, mash it down, and you can pull your other backing tape. It's kind of like a two-sided sticky or tacky tape, but it does a really nice job of sealing it. And then you just mash it down, and then you'll pin screw it. So you still follow your screw line. Screw that down, and then you're going to put one here with this screw line. And then you always want to put one, this is a 2 foot on center, which is Florida regulations, building code, manufacturer specifications, 2 foot on center because of wind upload. But you want to go one more in the center. Oop. Alright, so that seals that. Now that this is all flashed and everything, see how this goes up over the rib? You just want to lightly trim it. Because you want to make sure that lays flat, because you're going to put another panel on top of it. Alright. So now that's going to lay flat. It is going to roll over this, but you're going to put butyl tape underneath here and all underneath here. So you tear off a little piece of butyl. Stick it all the way up underneath there. Tear it off flush. Pull your tape out. And then of course you're going to go up the edge, because you don't want water getting up underneath here at all. Okay. And you go ahead and leave the excess up underneath the roof. It's not going to hurt anything. That way you don't walk on it, you don't step on it or anything. So, let me see. So then you want to put one pin screw right here on top behind your butyl tape. And just ease it down to where the butyl is actually sealed. You're going to put another one right here to where it folds and conforms to flashing. Sometimes they pop out. Just grab another screw. And that one you suck down. Now it gives a little crease to flow with the flashing that you put in. Now, you're not going to, that's all you're going to do. You're not going to put any more up here, because we're going to have another panel coming across here and cut into our valley. Alright, as you can see, we're back to where we started. All we did was we popped the line. The blue line is 3 inches out of center, and we're going to measure over and get the panel prepared to cut and set it in place to where we can show you how we go around a cricket and get this all sealed up nice and neat. Alright. As you can see, we've already cut the panel, we got our angle, we popped the chalk line and everything to get everything. We came down, got our measurement to come across to where everything lines up right. When you bring a panel up, because you still got to do a little bit more prep work, be sure to put a screw on it so that panel doesn't slide, doesn't maneuver. Someone steps on that, that's just a slip and slide to go completely off the roof. So the first thing we do, we made sure it fit, made sure everything was cut correctly. Because you are overlapping another panel, panel over panel, you still want to do the single bead or double bead, whichever one, which is butyl tape, and just go completely across right at, this is your line, so that's the bottom of your panel. So you want to terminate right there. You're going to run one up the length so it doesn't, water can't go up and over inside that rib. And then you're going to run another one right beside it, about an inch apart. And you can pull all of this, get all your paper out of there. Continue on with your single bead. Very tacky. Alright, so now that's down. Alright, because we're running a valley, we want to run M-Seal. What this is an expanding foam closure. Basically, anytime you do any valleys or anything like that, you want to put expanding foam closure, M-Seal. There's a couple different names, but you want to be about 1 inch out of your chalk line. And what this is going to do, this is going to blow up and seal off your actual panel. So now we can unscrew this panel, let it slide down into place. Go right to your mark. Make sure you're on your chalk line and everything's nice and closed. The M-Seal's behind it. Now you can actually screw this panel down. So y'all go ahead and screw it down and we'll go from there. Okay, as you can see, they've screwed the whole panel off and everything. It's down our chalk line. When you do a one-piece cricket, the bad part about it is you do have to split this panel to get your actual folds and get your V's and everything. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can put single bead right here, and then as you see, I made a little flashing detail and everything with a little V. It's going to sit underneath there, but there's no screws. So the next step you want to do is, where's our caulking gun? You want to take the caulking gun and you're going to put some caulk underneath here also, because the single bead will actually hold it till the metal till we actually get the panels to come up and over. But the caulk will seal it permanently. So you're just gonna run a bead of caulk down it like this, come across, seal that up, and then come back up and down, and basically that will seal off this little flashing piece. You stick that down there and just give it a little firm mash, and basically that will act as a little flashing detail up underneath there, and you can get rid of this single bead to where it doesn't show out, because there's not going to be any screws in this area at all. So we're going to pull some measurements and cut our next panel and show you how we do an up and over. All right, continuing of doing a cricket, as you can tell, we now have everything flashed. Comes up, goes up, and I know it's hard to see because of the shadow lines and everything, but everything comes down and up and over, and it comes into one continuous, and then the other panel is on, and the other side flashing is all attached. What that does is allow water to go up and over and down the flashings and everything and just keep going. So if you ever have to do one and you do metal roofing, this is probably the best scenario to guarantee yourself not to leak. Thank you for watching my video. This is Ace Remodeling and Roofing in Gainesville, Florida. Have a wonderful day.